Hey, good morning, everyone. This is going to be an interesting morning because I got some really cool things going on right now. And if you're coming on live, right now I got some weird things going on, and it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm going to tell you about it in just a second. It's going to be kind of cool. I'm not sure how this is going to work because at the same time, I am simultaneously broadcasting on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and I'm recording at the same time on my local screen doing screen capture just to see what happens. Not sure. In case one of those two things shuts down, who knows what's going to go on. Facebook has been shutting me down after 20 minutes. YouTube could be continuing on for a little while. So if you missed the full broadcast in Facebook, Facebook is over here. YouTube Live is over here, okay? And the whole screen thing going on. Then you can go to YouTube, YouTube.com, and figure that out. Hey, it's 7 o'clock and it's time to rock it. My name is Matthew Zupon with Creation Internet Services, creationis.com. And I'm bringing to you Area 51 Marketing Conspiracy Exposed. Tips and techniques that the big digital marketing companies don't want you to know about. This is going to be, I'm thinking, a little bit of a wild ride because I'm not sure how this is going to work. And the other day I was broadcasting on Facebook, and for the last 2 weeks, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. So I've been Facebook slapped a little bit, boom, 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 boom. And so I'm trying to do a couple new things and reaching out into new directions. Remember, I talk about alternative thinking all the time. And the other morning, like 2 mornings ago, it was really stormy here in Oklahoma, and the lightning and everything like that. And I usually shut down my computers and things like that when there's a massive lightning storm, okay? Because I don't want a power surge, no matter what, to go and just burn out my computer, because then I'm all over. Then it's over for me. My whole business shuts down if I destroyed all my computers. So that wouldn't be a good thing. And who knows? You never know what's going on. But anyway, it was a stormy morning. And if you see all the broadcasts, it was a little bit funny. I snuck out of the Area 51 bunker. By the way, that's where I am, live inside, deep inside the Area 51 bunker. Can't tell you where, because then the Purple Op helicopters will land outside. They'll try and break in, and it just causes chaos. Then I have to get my security cameras and all my security systems to repel borders, things like that. But hey, we are inside the Area 51 marketing bunker, and this is where the magic happens. This is where all the work happens. Let's put it that way. And this is my new book. If you haven't seen it, Area 51. This is my shameless commercial at the beginning. Area 51, Marketing Conspiracy Exposed. What the big digital marketing companies don't want you to know about. Okay? Sometimes it's just because they don't know, and they don't want to reveal that they don't know. But mostly they just don't want to reveal their secret sauce. Guess what? This is the secret sauce. Remember in Kung Fu Panda, what's the secret sauce? He looked in the thing. Yeah, that's right. The secret sauce is you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about you a little bit. Mostly we're going to be talking about the know, like, and trust factor. Now, in the last few days, I'm going to kind of be taking a little chapter from my book here. And on page 159, it says, the money is in the list. And we've been talking about that just a little bit for the last couple of days. The money is in the list. But before we get there, I just wanted to read this quote out of the section 4, the lifeblood of your digital marketing campaign. It says, you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else, right? Albert Einstein. Pretty cool, huh? I like that. So I've been talking about the money is in the list. And yesterday, because I got cut off, I was only on one system. And like I said, this is kind of weird today. Got some weird things going on. I've got a Facebook live stream going on at the same time. We're broadcasting live on YouTube. We're doing this broadcast, and we're simultaneously screen capturing everything that's going on my computer. So in case we get cut off someplace, we're going to get a full broadcast no matter what today. So if Facebook shuts down like it's been doing, Facebook's slapping me, then we've still got all of YouTube, and you're going to be able to just go over there to my YouTube channel, Area 51 Marketing Channel, and get the rest of the broadcast. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that. It's kind of interesting. But yesterday, we were talking about, in the morning broadcast, we were talking about the businessman's journey. And, you know, I use this a lot. This is kind of my favorite little thing right here. And we had this part of the journey going on. And I had my little guy. I don't draw as well as some people, but we had the journey going on. And we were getting our avatars, talking about our avatars. We were getting them from here to here, focusing on the second avatar, which is, as you know, if you've read my book already, or if you haven't and you've watched some of my other videos, I talk about the avatars. There's 4 main avatars every business needs to know. Okay? And the second avatar is your best potential customer. So if you have a best potential customer, I'm just going to kind of connect the dots here a little bit. Okay, this just brings them down so you can understand that this is the person between here and here. These are not your customers. When you're targeting in your digital marketing, when you start to target and you get on this side, once you get past your first obstacle, then you start targeting your best potential customer. So you're doing everything you can. You might have another obstacle in the way. You might have some more obstacles in the way. Maybe you get Facebook slapped a little bit. Facebook changes its policies. You're trying to learn social media. You know, everybody's online right now. When you can't go out, you can't shop, and you're trying to figure out where to find new customers, right? It's not about the customers you have, okay? Because this is a new world. So now there's people online that are looking to be your customer too. And you get an opportunity. This is an opportunity. This doesn't have to be something that knocks you over and just destroys everything. Okay? This is an opportunity to reach new people, the people who are online, who buy online, who shop online, who search online, doing all that stuff. So between here and here is your potential customer. And what do we do there? Well, we create our first funnel. Okay? And that funnel is basically trying to capture emails. So one of the things that I teach is that you want to have 3 funnels. Okay? And this is kind of where I left off yesterday, but I'm going to recap for some of you who are new on my broadcast. You want to have 3 funnels. You have a lead generation funnel that targets your second avatar, your best potential customer, and then we have a sequence of events. And this is where we're going to go today. We're going to talk about the sequence of events and what do you do with that to get them to be the third avatar. Okay? The third avatar is over here. And as I always say, the money is in the list. And that's like putting money into a piggy bank. It's in the piggy bank. But it doesn't do you any good unless you know how to get it out. And as you're getting it out, and some of that gets turned into your best customer, then you got to be able to put more money back in. So you always want to be filling up that reserve, that place where people are coming in, they're getting to know, like, and trust you. And this is the area, this first area, where you're basically helping people to understand your business, what you do, how you do it, what you have, and all of those things. Now, at the same time, you're getting to know, like, and trust them. Because do you want everybody to be your customer? No, not everyone's going to be your customer. So just put that out of your head. You only want those who are going to be your best customer. Okay? And then we're going to go, there's another one. We're not going to talk about that today, but the sequencing looks like this. So follow with me now. Okay? We've got sequencing. Okay. And the first one is my KLT. The first three, the first part of my sequencing to get them from here to here is know, like, and trust. Okay. This is where we're gonna take all of this off, and then we're just gonna discuss the know, like, trust, and what I call it is the wind up and the pitch. So we get them from here to here. We create a hook, draw them in, and hopefully we give them something of great value and benefit, and they give us something of great value and benefit. And what could that possibly be? What would I want from them besides a sale? I don't want to sell them anything here. This is not the point of your basically cold targeting. You're trying to get people who don't know you. They have no reason to trust you or like you or anything like that. And to get them to start to want to know you, like you, and trust you. So that's what the first part of targeting is all about. And this is where a lot of business owners kind of miss it. They kind of miss the game. There's that thing called traditional marketing, okay, that gets stuck in people's heads because they've been doing it for so long. This is the way we've done it. This is the way we've always done it. And this is the way we're going to do it. Well, this whole pandemic thing has changed all of that, okay, because traditional businesses and traditional marketing are not working right now. You can't rely just on foot traffic anymore. You can't rely on the newspapers. They're not going to, it doesn't matter. You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars telling your people to come to your store, but your store is closed. So what are you going to do? You have to figure out a way to go to them instead of trying to make them come to you. Now, I worked for a company not too long ago. I was working with them, and they had this thing in their head that they could not sell their product to anyone unless they got that person to come into the store. And you know, me being a web designer for as long as I have, I'm thinking, really? Seriously? You've got a great product. Get it online. Let people buy online. Let them shop online. Let them finish their order online. Let them do it all online if that's what they want to do. Why are you leaving this whole section of people out? Because there's a whole section of people that only want to shop online. They don't really want to deal with anybody else. If they have a pressing question or a problem, then they're going to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, can you help me figure this out so that I can order this online and just have it delivered? Well, no, you got to come into the store. Well, you can order it, but then you got to come pick it up at the store. They want you in the store, in the store, in the store. Well, that's 50-year ago thinking. That is old, traditional marketing thinking. You don't need that. Can you have it? Yes, absolutely. When things start to calm down just a little bit, maybe throughout the summer, who knows what's going to happen? Nobody. Because the original thought was 14 days. Okay, everyone quarantined for 14 days, we're going to be good. Some people thought, okay, well, I'm going to be doing something different. I got to keep my business open. I got to keep doing what I'm doing. I got to keep working, but that didn't happen. So they said, okay, well, we're a traditional business. We rely on foot traffic. There's not much we can do. We got to close for 14 days. But we're just kind of going to wait it out until after 14 days, and we can open up and everything will be okay again. Well, in 14 days, they said, no, it's going to be another 2 weeks. And then it was another 2 weeks and then another 2 weeks. That was 3 months ago. So if you haven't done something to change the way you're thinking and you're stuck in that traditional mindset of this is the way we've done it, you're stuck over here. And we want to get over here. You want the new people that are now focusing online. So start targeting different people. You can't target the same people who only shop in your thing. So we've got hashtag alternative thinking. Love that phrase. That's my new catchphrase. Everybody put a hashtag alternative thinking in your comment box. So if you're here watching live, give me an alternative thinking hashtag. That'd be great. And then the thing is, you cannot do anything with just thinking. Alternative thinking gets you nowhere. It's the same as the phrase, thinking outside the box. Oh, we want you to think outside the box. No, no, you can't think outside the box. To me, that gives me a picture of some guy sitting inside a box and he goes, I'm thinking over there. And that's it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if he's thinking outside the box when he kind of moves the box and then he sticks his head out. Okay, now I'm thinking outside the box. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to get outside the damn box. Okay, so you got to act on your thinking in order for anything to get done. So thinking alone doesn't do it. Alternative thinking, thinking differently than other people, is the same thing, thinking outside the box. Thinking differently than other people, thinking of different possibilities, different solutions, and all that stuff is great, but without action, okay, alternative thinking leads to alternative action. I was going to do hashtag action for today. Yesterday was hashtag act, whatever I want to do. So we've got that. We've got to get outside the box. We've got to think differently. Now we got to also talk to people differently. Because here's the problem that I've seen over the past, especially in the past 3 months. You've got a bunch of traditional businesses. I love traditional businesses, especially brick and mortar businesses that have been procrastinating. Okay. And I'm saying this just really with all the love in my heart. They've got a business, they're satisfied with it, everything's going okay, everything's moving all right. And so when it comes to digital marketing, when it comes to social media marketing, they've been stuck in traditional marketing. And what they've been doing is, you know what, I still get some results from newspaper, or I do a little radio ad here and there, or I do done some television, something like that. But traditional thinking is dead. It just died, and it's not going to be revived. Okay, it's not going to be revived. So we have to think outside of that region. And now you've got a bunch of brick and mortar businesses, a bunch of traditional thinking businesses that are going, well, I played with that social media stuff, and I cannot tell you how many businesses I've talked to that said, well, do you have just recently I was working with a new client, and I said, well, do you have a Facebook page? Well, yeah, we put up a Facebook page, and they did back in 2011. But since then, during that whole time, they probably made about 5 posts. And that's the problem. Okay, traditional thinking and traditional brick and mortar, they're not thinking I need this. They're not thinking I have to have this. They're thinking it's just a time-consuming thing that's going to take up their time. And so it's not that important. It's a little bit fun. They play with it. They don't see anything going on. So they leave it and they forget it. And they go back to that whole idea of, I got to create an ad and I got to sell my product. And then now they're all online. And, oh man, this other stuff isn't working. So those who are actually taking some action and trying to do something, they're now online. And they're trying to do the same thing online in social media as they were doing in their traditional marketing. That doesn't work. Okay. You cannot just go and head bash people and say, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. If you haven't been taking the time to build the relationship online, socially, that's why it's called social media. You have to spend time doing the social thing. Okay, play by the rules. Remember, the first quote I read today out of my book is, you have to learn the rules of the game. The rules of the game on social media are extremely different. So you have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play the game better than anyone else. And like I said, Albert Einstein is the one who said that. Okay? So now is the time. It's not just about being online and being on Facebook and being on Twitter and LinkedIn and any of those social media platforms. But you got to learn the rules of the game. So here's a whole bunch of people. All of a sudden, they've been dumped in to the social media platform because they're thinking, oh, I can't get people to come past my store. And now I've got to go out and find new people that I can sell. And yeah, they might try and change their model of selling a little bit. And now all of a sudden their website becomes important, but they don't know how to do it. So over and over and over, I see just people trying to slam, oh, you buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. Okay. And that's not it. That's not the whole social media gambit. This whole first section, trying to get new people into your business, is all about building the relationship. And it doesn't stop there, but it's the beginning step to building the relationship. And these people from here to here, actually from here to here, are not your customers. We don't talk to them the same way as we talk to our customers. So what we want to do is learn how to build that relationship. And the same three principles that I talk about here, the same three pillars of success that you need on social media and actually any of your marketing platforms. I don't care if you do traditional or non-traditional. This is where we're going to go. All right. So we're going to take this and start going over the know, like, and trust. And to know, like, and trust, really, there's a 5 email sequence. Once you create your hook, we've talked about that already, so you have to go back to one of my other videos. Not going to do that today. Once you've built your hook, maybe something in social media, you started doing know, like, and trust in social media. Now it's time to get them over into your area of control, and that's the lead, creating a lead first. Okay, you want someone who's interested in what you have, and you want them to get to know you a little bit and like you and trust you. So how do we do that? Well, we get them into our lead. We're going to call it our little lead safe deposit box, our lead piggy bank, whatever we want to call it. Okay, so we've got all these people coming into our funnel from different places. Maybe they're coming in from Facebook, or you're doing YouTube, or you're doing Google ads or Facebook ads. They can be organic, it can be paid. It doesn't matter. All of that's coming in. And so we got all these people in here. And what do we do with them? Okay. How did we get them there? Well, we created this really cool thing. They got a little bit interested. It piqued their curiosity, for one. If it was a really cool thing and your marketing is right, it piqued their curiosity. It also it piqued it in such a way that it answered something that they wanted already, that they want, need, or desire. And mostly it's wants and desires that really get the results. Okay, I don't need a Kit Kat when I go shopping, but I want one. I desire it, so I buy it. I absolutely do not need it. Why do people go to McDonald's? They don't need McDonald's. So need is usually not always the thing you want to focus on. And a lot of businesses focus on need, and they forget to focus on wants and desires. So again, that's a threefold thing: wants, needs, and desires. A lot of businesses are spending too much money focusing on you need this, rather than what do you want? Oh, you want a red widget? Oh, well, cool. Let me show you this red widget. And you go, oh, okay. And you jump over and say, oh, I want to look at your red widget. And then you say, okay, I want to give you this really cool thing. If you give me your email address, and then I'll send you more information about my red widget. So I'm giving them something of great value and benefit to them that will help them with their red widget, or maybe it will be the red widget. So I want to get them into my world. And once I get them into my world, what do I do with them? Okay, so I have a bunch of people that are in my world now. They've signed up for my special thing, and they're interested in it. I already know that, because otherwise they wouldn't have signed up. They were interested enough to get the first wonderful special thing, and then they gave to me, their email address is like gold. Okay, their email address is more important than a one-time sale. So I'm not interested to sell them something at all. All I'm interested in is getting their email address. Why? So that I can continue the conversation. We can continue the conversation. You know, that's kind of like the guy who sees the girl and she's real pretty, and what does he want to do? He's got one objective in mind. He's got one target, and he wants one result. His one objective is to go meet her. The target is her. The result is to get her phone number. Right? That's kind of what lead generation is all about. That's a lead. Okay? If he didn't get the phone number, exchange that, he had to give something, you know, maybe even just his personality, tells a story, whatever it is, he had to give something to get the phone number. And so that was his objective. He had one objective, one target, which is her. I'm going to target you. My objective is to ask you out. And the result I want is to get your phone number to ask you out. So that's how that works. Right there, that's what this is. You got that. Now what do? I give them a place to go. I say thank you for doing this. We've got our little thank you page over here. I've got my first micro commitment, which is their email. And then we want to put them into a sequence of events, which is, I kind of like to call it the pitcher's email sequence. Some people call it the soap opera sequence. Some people call it just, you know, I like, in my book, I talk about it as a know, like, and trust sequence. And I kind of explain it this way. Know, like, trust. W for wind up. And wow, this is really cool because I'm watching myself on the whole thing back and forth on Facebook. We're getting all kinds of weird stuff going on over here. YouTube stream looks like it's doing pretty good. And the third broadcasting thing that's going on at the same time, going like this. So if this were a pitching mound, the only thing you're thinking about is the pitcher. Right? For those of you who are in sports, I'll explain it this way. Those of you who are thinking about is the pitcher. You have one objective. Okay? So the first thing is the pitcher addresses the mound. He has to get up. He gets onto the mound. That's it. This is my first place to go for the pitcher. Pitching ball, baseball, email sequence. Okay. Then what does he do? He's got to do a like here. So he looks down at the catcher. He looks over at first base. If he likes what he sees, okay, he goes to the next phase, which is the trust. This is when he looks at the catcher. He's getting the signals from the catcher because the catcher is seeing things behind him that he's not seeing. And he's got to have that trust with that catcher that the catcher is going to give him the right signal. So he's watching to make sure the guy on first isn't going to try and steal second, and the guy on third isn't going to go all the way to home. We want to make sure that's going on. Once he gets the right signal of what he's going to pitch, he goes into the windup. This is where he's starting to commit. He hasn't committed yet. He hasn't thrown the ball. He can stop it at any second. Now he knows in his mind, the windup, he's either going to be looking down here and then he's going to throw over to first base because the guy's trying to steal, or he's going to throw it over to second base because the guy's halfway there, or he's going to throw the pitch. So he's got to make a commitment there to do one of those three things. Then he actually commits. Boom, it's a full off. No matter what, you can't pull back. There's the pitch. This is it. Bottom line. What's the target? It's not the other player. It's a little tiny spot in the middle of the glove. Not the whole glove, not above the glove, not below the glove, not around the glove. It's a little tiny spot in the middle of the glove. Okay, so he has to know what kind of pitch he's going to make. Is it going to be a curveball? Is it going to be a straight ball? Is it going to be a sinker, slider, whatever it is? Those are the only four that I know. Okay. So you have that, but the way I explain it in my book is a little bit different. The way I explain it in my book is it's kind of like telling a story. And I remember when I first started telling the story, let me just share with you from the book of what the first part of your 5 email sequence. So I'm just going to share this. The first email is always a warm and welcoming email. It reaffirms the great decision that the person made for getting your download or video or whatever special thing you had to offer. Most importantly, it is the email that you set the expectation of what they can expect next. Okay, so that's the first email. That's the getting to know them. Why do I make them do any? Let's say it's a download. Okay, they come in, they fill out the lead generation form, whatever it is. I say, okay, you can do this. Give me your email. I'm going to give you this really valuable information. It's a download on this file, an ebook or a video, whatever it is. Okay, and why don't I give it to them on the thank you page? Because just as much as they are basically kind of testing me, trying out my business, a little bit like that, I want to make sure that the micro commitment that they made to me by giving me their email is real. So I'm qualifying them just as much. If they're not going to give me the real deal, they're not going to get the real deal back. They're not going to get it. I don't want to be trying to send out emails to people and all I'm going to do is get emails bouncing back at me. Oh, email's not good. Email's not good. Here's the thing. That's why you put on the thank you page, your information is going to be in an email that you're going to be receiving. So check your emails and make sure. That way I know that when I send out that email automatically to that person so that they can get their free download, that it's real. Because if it bounces back, they're not going to get it. Okay? And then they're instantly going to be taken off. If the email bounces back right away, they're going to be taken right off the list. So the first one is to get to know them a little bit. Hey, thank you very much. You reaffirm what they've just done. That was a great decision. I know, listen to the words. I know that you're going to love the information that we're sending you. I know. I not only is it a part of the sequence, I want to use it. The first one is to get to know and like. I want to use that terminology in the email. So I can start to, I know you're going to love this story. I know you're going to love this video. I know you're going to love this. I know that you're going to love that. And let me tell you, I've got some really cool stuff. And here's what I did. In my story, I tell about my son when he was little. And one day I went in, he didn't want to sleep, so he wanted a story. So I had to think for a little bit, and I remember way back I had some drawings that I had done about a bear. And I named him Chub Bear. And I was actually thinking of writing a story about Chub Bear. So I started telling my son the story of Chub Bear. And Chub Bear was a cute, just puffy little brown bear, two-tone brown bear. And he went on many adventures. So I said, all right, son, I know you're going to love this story. Here's the story, the first adventure of Chub Bear. And I told him that Chub Bear was what he looked like and what he kind of acted like, and then how he went up was going to go on some really great adventures. And then we got talking a little bit, and I said, but I'm going to tell you tomorrow his first adventure. So he was satisfied with that, not completely, but he was piqued his interest. See what I did there? Started a story, started to paint the picture of the story, said, you're going to love this story. I know you're going to like this story. I know you're going to like, I actually like to use that word instead of, I know you're going to love it. I know you're going to like it because I'm already planting the seed of liking, know, like, and trust into his mind. I know you're going to like this. It's going to be great. Here's Chub Bear. Let me tell you about him, how we did this with Chub Bear and the many adventures he's going to go on. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about his first adventure. So make sure you open your email tomorrow to get the first adventure. This is also called the open door policy. The open door policy. So right now we're focusing on this one right here to know. The first email is where you reaffirm the decision that they made. You want them to feel good about it, so they get all that little warm and fuzzy. Then you set the expectations. And the expectations are that, great, glad you're here. This is going to be exciting. I'm going to be sending out some new emails and tell you about this and share this with you. Okay? So I'm going to share this. So now I have this door that the person walked through. And what I want them to do is be excited enough to read the whole email. They get their special download. Don't forget to do that. I always like to add something like join my Facebook group also. Okay, it doesn't have to have a bunch of pictures and stuff on it. Catchy subject line, and then in my body, we do the thank you, the warm and fuzzy. We tell them that we're going to tell them a story. We tell them a little bit of story, but then we tell them what we're going to deliver tomorrow. Do they know it's going to come tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't have to tell them that. I don't have to say, well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for signing up to my newsletter. Listen how boring this sounds. I don't know how many businesses do this. A lot. Thank you for signing up to my newsletter. We'll be sending out a newsletter once a week. Hope you look forward to seeing it. Wow, that's really exciting. Man, that just makes me tingle all over. Not, guess what? By the following week, by the time I get another newsletter, or maybe, we send out newsletters every 2 weeks, once a month, 12 newsletters a year. By the time I get another newsletter from you, I've forgotten the whole reason why I signed up to begin with. And then when I do get one, what are you trying to do? Sell me something? That's it. Boom. Oh, we got this special sale. We just want to tell you about it. We got 10% off on all of our spring fashion, or our new shoes, or necklaces, or our massage oils, or essential oils, or our health this, or health that, or this service, or that service. And if you call right now, you'll get that 10% off. But it's only going to last until our next email. Great, 30 days, maybe. It'll last all the time because they'll probably be doing it no matter what. And everybody gets it, and it's not anything special. So I tell the story of Chub Bear. And the next night, my son, he was like, okay, Papa, tell me the story of Chub Bear. So I said, once upon a time, there was a little bear. And his name was Chub Bear. And he was the fuzziest, softest, most cuddliest bear of all time. And his boy was a 6-year-old little red-headed, freckled-faced boy. And they went on some adventures. And one day, Chub Bear woke up, and he knew that he loved to fly. At least he thought he did. He had never flown before. So, and then the story goes on a little bit more. And of course, we couldn't get through the whole adventure. We spent about 15 minutes leading up to the excitement of getting Chub Bear to fly. And he goes to the beach and he's in this little plane. And then there's a lightning storm and all kinds of things happen. And the story continues. And I said, okay, well, we're going to have to continue this tomorrow night. So here's what we do. In my know, like, and trust, I'm going to tell how this builds up into the thing. I always want to close this door when I get to the next one. So I'm going to tell the rest of it tomorrow night. So I start my story or my backstory, a little bit more about the backstory of Chub Bear, or the backstory of your company, or the backstory of you. And get a little more personal. Stop being so impersonal in your emails. Get a little more personal with your emails and say, you know what, this is how we did this, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because years ago, and this is why I do what I do. Okay, so let me just explain that. Why do I do what I do? Because almost 25 years ago, I was working for a company in Europe. And the internet thing was just kind of getting started. Everything was like brand new. And, you know, 1 out of 100 people might have internet connection. And so, you know, there were some people online and people were buying domains and stuff like that. And our company had the foresight that I was working with to say, you know what, this could be something big. But nobody knew any web developers because there weren't any. There weren't really any. There were just some kids hacking, creating things, trying to put stuff together. And they were like, wow, this is really cool. And I started looking at that and I'm like, whoa, this is going to be amazing. We need a website. And my boss was like, yeah, we do. But, you know, I don't know anyone who knows how to do it. And I said, well, I can do it. I had never developed a website before. So what did I do? I started learning and I started growing, and it was difficult because, you know, I kept coming up against the wall that there were no books, there were no teachers, there were no universities, there's nobody around that knew what in the world we were talking about, and everyone that was in the area where I was, they all spoke German. So, you know, I'm trying to learn how to develop websites while I was in Europe. And yeah, there were no books. There were no tutorials. You couldn't Google online because this was before Google. Right? So things were difficult, and it was like bam, 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 just kept coming against walls and things like that. So finally, I was able to get to a place where I developed the website. I did all the studying that I could, did a lot of website hacking of those websites that were already online. And I figured out, oh, what's this? Oh, let me try that. Okay, this is kind of this. I did the same thing when I was trying to learn how to type on a German keyboard. What's this button? Because it was different. It was like really weird. Gotta say, it was kind of weird. So when I was started over there, I was like, oh, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. Okay, what's this one do? I don't know. I can't read it. You know, because technical German is a lot different than just social talking German. You know what? I just started pressing buttons. Okay, let's try that. Let's see what that one does. Okay. Yeah, and I kind of messed up some things a few times, but you know, I worked through it. You just keep going. You work through it. Oh, okay, now I can get that. Einfügen and all this other stuff. Drücken, how to print, things like that. So the same thing is going on in the story. Right? So as I'm telling my son the story, we get to a certain point in the story, and I close that first part of the story. And now he's getting to like it more. And so what do I say? Is you like that story? If you like that story, you know, let me know. I'll continue it tomorrow night, because otherwise I'm not gonna. We'll just read some other story. Who stole my cheese? Something like that. Oh no, Papa, I really like it. You got to tell me more. Now you need to go to sleep tonight. So we close the top, the We open the door here. They walk into the second email. They're excited enough to go and check that out because they kind of like what they heard. So now I'm getting interaction. I want to build the interaction into the email sequence. So we get them, and then I also want to refer it back to the whatever it is that they might want or desire. And this is how this works, and this is how this goes back to this. Okay? He wanted a story, so I'll tell you more of the story. Okay? If you're looking for this, I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. And we'll see how this all works together. So we've got that. And then I open the door down here. And this is why it's called a soap opera sequence by a lot of digital marketing companies, a lot of people who do this stuff. Soap operas, what did soap operas do? What was the hook that got people watching soap operas so much? They always got to a point at the end where something happens and then it's finished. What? You got to show me what happened. You know, some tragedy strikes and then you don't get to see the result of that tragedy. And then you have to wait a week or the next day or whatever it was, because I didn't watch soap operas. That's why I don't call it the soap opera sequence. But you could call it the Batman sequence, whatever you want to call it. Because I used to watch Batman as a kid. And it always seemed like you get to the end of the Batman and they left you with a cliffhanger. So those are called cliffhangers. Soap operas did them, the old series and stuff did it. They do all of this stuff. A lot of the newer series, they started coming back to that whole story. NYPD Blues always did the same thing. That's what made that one so popular. They get you going. I was just watching one recently, rewatching it, called The Mentalist, and it always left you with a cliffhanger at the end of the movie, so that you want to go and just now it's on Amazon Prime, so you want to go binge watch. You got to just control it. Back when I was a kid, it's just like you only get it once a week. You got to wait a whole week to find out what happened. That was just not a good thing. So we don't want to keep them waiting that long. In the world of the internet, things move much faster. Okay, when you were limited back then to television stuff, then everything was a week apart, but not anymore. So we can't think in that same traditional mindset, that same traditional thinking as we had in the days when there were no options. Because now everything's 24/7. Now everything's instantaneous. Now everything is now. So I close the door here from the previous, right? I'm going from here to here, and I've got a door. They walk through that one. They open up the email. I want to get interaction. I want them to read it, and I open a new door. And I say, okay, this is going to be coming in the next email. Check this out. We're gonna let you know what happened here. And so then I get them to come in. The next email goes out the next day. Don't wait. The next day. You get them in, you have a really cool thing, and then you're going to tell them about it, and you're going to close that door, and you're going to open a new door. Okay? We're going to create a new cliffhanger. And then now they're starting to trust you. They're starting to trust, hey, this is kind of fun. They got a story going on. It's kind of continuous. What is he going to come up with next? What could be so interesting? I'm not selling them anything. They got to know me a little bit, maybe a little bit of humor in there. They go, oh, this is kind of funny. So I want to get them, oh, I kind of like that. Wow, and they just start to trust you that when you're telling them something, yeah, you're answering and solving in every single one of these, every single one. You're answering and solving an extra deeper level of the problem or, whatever it is they're having trouble with. And so you give them a little bit more. And every single one of these, you're giving more. You're giving not just a story. You create a hook, you tell a story, and then you're kind of making an offer, which is saying, come check out the next email because I'm going to give you something more. Maybe you actually just give them something more. You give them an extra special thing. Hey, I got a bonus for you tomorrow. Make sure you check out tomorrow's email because I got something really special for you tomorrow. Okay? And I'm going to finish the story that I started today. Well, I did that with my son. After a couple of days, I told him I got a really special thing, and part of the story, there enters a rabbit. Okay, and the rabbit, I can't remember, I think the rabbit's name was Papadopoulos. We had some fun names. I mean, there were rabbits and turtles and all kinds of animals, stuffed animals and all kinds of stuff that were going on. And one of the first things that we gave them in the story was something special, which was the Chubb Flyer. And I'll tell you about the Chubb Flyer tomorrow. So make sure you're on tomorrow's episode. And then we get over here and we create another opening. Now we're going to get a little bit more serious. This is where I'm saying, okay, I got that really something special. I got some special news for you tomorrow. Make sure you're checking out tomorrow's email, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the rest of this thing. Okay, so this is what I call the wind up. So I have a story. They're starting to trust. This is going to be fun. This is going to be good. If he says it's going to give me a bonus, wow, I like bonuses. That's making me feel good. So I'm going to make sure I open that email. I'm looking forward to it now because it comes out every single day. You start looking forward to it, and then you open that one up, and he talks about it even more, and he gives me something more of value and benefit, and this is really great. And he's talking about this special, and now I can introduce the special on the page. At this point, I might want to introduce it. I'm getting ready to hit that target, whatever target it is. There's my target. I'm going to tell you about this. This is really cool. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. Okay? Boom. And then I get over here and I call it, this is the absolute commitment for your emails to them. And gives them an opportunity to commit to doing something more with you. You're taking them along the journey. Okay? Remember the journey. Okay? Now we're taking them, we got them into here. We got them into here. We've done our sequence, and I'm just going to make a little box. 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we are on the final day. Now, at this point on number 4, day 4, I might be making a small. I have the link, and I introduce what I'm going to introduce even more tomorrow. This really cool thing that's going to help them with this thing that they've already told me that they want help with. So we've been building. It's kind of like the climax of a series. You're watching a series, and in the United States, they do series like 23 episodes, and it's always that and the final season finale is coming tomorrow or next week. And this is, could be this, could be that, could be that, could be this. It's going to be really great, but it's going to answer all your questions in season finale. But does the season finale ever do that? No. It does answer all the stuff before that. It closes that loop. But it opens up a big new loop. A big new loop. And now that's where we go with this one, and we want to get them up into the rest of the mountains. So we've been building this part now from here to here, and I want to get them into this area where they are now my customer. And what do we do with them there? I'm going to tell you that tomorrow. That's one of those things. We've got our beginning sequence to get them to become customer, to know, like, and trust us enough. We wind up, we're going to offer them something of great value, great benefit, that they're going to love it. See, we're using the word from the email before. You're going to love this. This is going to be great. I know you like this. You're going to love that. Now, I trust that you're going to be blessed. So that's how we move from one section to the other in our email sequence and the way we talk to them. So what did I do with Chubb? What did What did I give my son in the Chub Bear story? Well, I'll tell you that tomorrow as well. So that's all I have for you today. Like I said, my name is Matthew Zupon with Creation Internet Services, creationis.com, bringing to you Area 51, Marketing Conspiracy Exposed, tips and techniques that the big digital marketing companies don't want you to know about because they think they're trying to save their secret sauce. But some of this stuff that I'm talking about right now, the email sequence, I go into greater detail. A lot more. Here's on page 164 starts the 5 email sequence. That's the beginning of the first part of the journey. The 5 email sequence is right there. Well, they're all in there, but you've got that right there. Area 51 marketingconspiracyexposed.com, and you can get your free copy because I'm giving away my book to everyone. I just feel it's so valuable right now, especially in this time for brick and mortar businesses to understand how to navigate the river, the new field of digital marketing. It's so vital. It's so important. Pick up one for you, pick up one for a friend, because if you go to Amazon, you can get it on Amazon as well. You get the ebook on Amazon, that's great, but you will pay more. You'll pay $39.95 on Amazon. And if you go to mine, you get it for free. Plus, but you just take care of the shipping and handling. So I want you to get a copy of that. That's all I have for you today. Let's see if there's anyone have any questions. I don't see any questions going on right now. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to make sure this works on all 3 streaming things that we were doing today. This was kind of weird, kind of new, kind of exciting. That's why I'm looking like this all the time. So there you go. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., and y'all be blessed.